everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Lucy Njue, and I am passionate about proposal writing. And I have a mission, and my mission is to empower people working for nonprofits and the founders of nonprofits, especially to attract funding for your projects. And I do this by equipping you with the skills that you need for proposal writing, as well as providing you with the resources that you need. And I have developed quite a number of resources that you can use in your proposal writing journey. This is all aimed at ensuring and empowering you to achieve your objectives and to have greater impact in our community. Today, I'm going to be talking about what you need to know to get funded. One of the things that you need to know about funding and the funding environment and the donors is that donors fund the why and not the what. What do I mean by this? Donors are inclined to fund the significance of your project. What makes them want to fund your project is not so much about what you can be able to do, but why you are doing what you want to do. So the why is very important as you write your proposal. It is something that you need to bring out, and the why basically shows the significance of your proposal. What I find very common in the proposals that we write is we tend to write a lot about what we are going to do. Even in our reports, sorry to deviate a little bit, we tend to focus a lot on what we did and not so much on why we did what we did. Back to proposal writing, focus on why. Why? Why is it important for the donor or the funder to fund you? What will happen when they fund you? What will be the significance of this funding to the community? What change will it bring to the lives of the people that you are targeting? That explains the why. The significance of your work is what needs to be more important or brought out more strongly in your proposals than the what, than the capacity building that you're going to do. Of course, what is important because the what is actually what determines what will bring the results that we want to achieve. So yes, it's important we want to build schools. It's important we want to, equip people with skills in different areas. We want to train girls and adolescents on sexual reproductive health. But why is this important? So take your time and understand why. I have proposal writing course where I train much more on this. But basically, this is very important for you to understand why, the significance, the impact that your work will have, how it is going to transform the lives of the people. Perhaps, it's going to, reduce the rates of, teenage pregnancies. For example, in the case of trainings for sexual reproductive health. So focus on the why and not the what. If you forget anything I talk about in this video, please do not forget that. Point number 2, funders fund organizations with a track record of managing grants. So the question is, how do you show that you have managed grants in the past? The reality is, it's very hard for a donor to fund a non-profit organization that cannot show any prior experience in managing whatever types of funds. It's difficult, it's not impossible, but it is difficult. It is just the way it is difficult to get a job without any track record of having been employed in the past. But we are not saying it's impossible. But I guess the most important thing here is for you to be aware of it so that then you put measures that can help you to show, a track record. One of the ways that you can maneuver through this is by, working with like-minded organizations. So you may want to identify an organization that you can work with, that can mentor you, and that can subgrant you some amount of money as you start your journey in grants. So look for a big sister or a big brother to mentor you. Work with the person, let them subgrant to you some amount of money if possible, and then that helps you to start building your grant management portfolio. The other way is working with the communities to leverage on the community resources and through the community resources. And I think I've done a whole video about how you can leverage on the community resources. It can also help you to show how you have managed quite an amount of money. It may not be huge, but at least you have managed some amount of funds. And that's why donors will always ask for audit reports, because they want to see what money you have managed. So you have to really think around that. The other key aspect that you need to know about funding is that donors fund organizations that can demonstrate capacity and expertise to implement a project. Demonstrate capacity, please note that. Now, you may have the capacity, but you're not able to demonstrate it. That's where the difference comes in. So, when you are writing, your proposal must be able to show that you actually have the capacity. The donor needs to read and see that capacity. So it is a skill that you need to acquire about how do you demonstrate the capacity of your organization in a manner that the donor is attracted to your organization, because they want to see, to fund people who really have the capacity and the expertise to implement what they're going to implement. And this is where you really have to think around even the CVs of the people that you are going to submit. So you want to, for example, if you're talking about a project on sexual reproductive health, for sure you need people with those skills, well qualified. But also as an organization, you need to show your past projects in that area. So you have to think around how to package it. And remember what I say, you may have the capacity, but the key thing in proposal writing is for you to demonstrate that capacity, because the donor does not know you. So you have to have the skills to do that, right? The other thing is donors fund organizations with a well thought plan, or what we call a proposal. A proposal is a well thought plan. And how you show a project is well thought of, like I keep saying, there's always a connection from running from your problem, your strategies, your solution, your outcome. So it's something that takes time to think through your theory of change. When I do this, it's going to resort to this, and this is going to transform the people. The pathways of change have to be very clear, and that's where many people go wrong, because you read a proposal and that connection is not there. So please remember, funders or donors are looking for people with a well thought of plan. My last fifth point, I believe, is that donors fund organizations that present a convincing case. So a proposal is supposed to be a convincing document. Like I said, you may have the capacity, you may have all the technical capacity or the experience, but if you do not write a proposal that is convincing to the donor, then they will not fund you. So convincing it is a skill in writing. It is something that again you learn, and of course it's something that you can learn. But a convincing proposal, basically the question you need to ask yourself is why? Why should a donor fund you? What makes you stand out from the rest? Because you realize that it's a competition. Proposal or donor funding, it's highly competitive. It's highly competitive, and all these people or different organizations have the capacity, they have the skills, they have the experience. So what makes you stand out? So you have to really be very convincing that you can actually achieve the results that you're talking about. And that's why you have to really think through and ensure that you're using minimum resources to achieve very huge impact. So and write it in a very convincing manner. And there are all the different skills that I teach on how to write convincing proposals. And yeah, so if you're interested, if you want to learn much more, there's a link below where you can find actually a free masterclass about proposal writing, but also you can enroll for my course, and you will learn so much more about proposal writing. So those are my top 5 things that you need to know about proposals. And as always, I want to thank you for being with me, and also to humbly request that you subscribe to my channel. And this is just to keep me, going and motivated, and for us also to learn and share with one another. So thank you very much for being here, and have a nice